It's on. It's alive. Okay, I'm gonna do my regular intro though. Hold on. Hi friends! Those were totally my pajama bottoms that you weren't supposed to see, but that's okay. Welcome back. I'm just gonna sit here and talk to you for a little bit, give you an idea of what I've got going on this week, plus we need to talk about the CrossFit Games because they start tomorrow. It's been a little bit difficult trying to keep up with all of the announcements and the hints and everything of what the workouts are going to be and what they are. I'm going to do a quick overview. So far, we have 7 announced workouts, some of which that have descriptions and others which do not. The entire games is going to start with something called the crit, or a criterium, which is a 10-lap bike race around a 1,200 meter course. All 40 athletes are going to start at the same time, all 40 men, all 40 women, and there's a 30-minute time cap. The thing that makes me nervous was this video that was posted by Josh Bridges. I know that I would be freaking out because I like to stay in my own lane. I don't want anybody fucking up my shit, you know what I mean? If someone gets in my way or somebody else messes up and knocks me over, I would be so unbelievably pissed. And I'm pretty sure that their shoes are clipped into the pedals. I mean, unless you're really proficient with clipping in and clipping out, which I have no idea how to do, I'd be on my face and I'd have road rash. And that's the very first event of the entire CrossFit Games. Fingers crossed for everybody that there is a smooth crit. We shall see on that one. The next one is 30 muscle ups for time. And part of that makes me concerned because why, like, it just sounds too simple. What trick is gonna be thrown at the athletes last minute to make this more than just 30 ring muscle ups per time? It's like too good to be true, you know what I mean? So far, the next workout that's on the list is one that I'm most excited for, and I think that a lot of other people are gonna be really excited for, is the CrossFit Total, where you find a max back squat, a max shoulder press, and a max deadlift. This is kind of one that I'm really interested to try myself because it's been a really long time since I've done a CrossFit Total. I'm also really interested to see what kind of numbers these athletes put up, because this is something you can literally do at your own gym and compare your numbers to theirs. Of course, you have to take into consideration too that they will have already done the crit and the 30 muscle ups by this point, if this is the correct order of the events. Now, the next workout on this list, like, I feel really bad. I feel really bad for the athletes. It's a marathon row. Like, to look at the number 42,195 meters with a 4-hour time cap, like, it would probably take me somewhere between 6 to 8 hours to finish that. A marathon on a rower. 42,000 meters. Yeah, I'm sorry, CrossFit Games athletes. It's not my fault, but I would not want to do that whatsoever. So the battleground. The battleground is really interesting, and I feel like I've said that all of the events so far are really interesting. My husband is a Marine, so I definitely have heard stories of the O course. Seeing that the Marines are sponsoring this event and that there is buddy carry in a way, dragging the mannequin across the field and then going out and do work, and still be able to carry your buddy back. Sometimes I think about, what if I was with someone who was bigger than me and they needed help getting out of a burning building or something like that? Would I be able to drag them from point A to point B to get them to safety? It depends. Rescue Randy, as they're calling him. I don't know how much he weighs. Plus, each athlete is wearing a weighted vest. I wonder if it's going to be a standard on whether or not they can just drop. They can just drop the mannequin when they're done, or if they have to place him down like an actual person. The time cap is 11 minutes, so I'm really interested to see how this goes, and I promise I'm gonna stop saying I'm interested and that's interesting. The Fibonacci is back from last year, and to be honest with you, I didn't really watch a whole lot of the individuals competition last year because I was home in Massachusetts. It was the first year that I didn't go to the game. Plus, the one athlete that I wanted to see was Becca, and she was in the Masters division. So when I watched the events, more often than not, I was just watching her events, and I didn't really pay too much attention to the individuals. I did go back and watch them again later, and the Fibonacci was where Matt Fraser got to take a second and look around the stadium and really take in the fact that he did it again by a really large margin. And of course you had that heart-stopping finish between Tia-Clair Toomey and Cara Webb. It's gonna be awesome to see the Fibonacci come back, especially if Tia and Cara are in the same heat. The Fibonacci, just in case you're not familiar with it, is a 5-8-13 rep scheme of parallel handstand push-ups, double kettlebell deadlifts, then an 89-foot walking lunge with 2 kettlebells overhead. The men have a 14-inch deficit on the handstand push-ups, 2 203-pound kettlebells for the deadlifts, 2 53-pound kettlebells for the lunges. The women have an 8-inch deficit on the handstand push-ups, 2 124-pound kettlebells for the deadlifts, 2 35-pound kettlebells for the lunges, and the time cap is 6 minutes. Once they finish the rep scheme, then that's when they do the walking lunge. And go back and watch the Fibonacci final from last year if you haven't seen it yet. It's like really exciting. This one, it just says chaos. Dave put on his Instagram that there was a contest for people to guess what movements would be in the chaos event. A lot of people went through and said that chaos is an acronym that stood for each of the movements, which is definitely possible, but I also feel like when I think chaos, I think of a group of really crazy movements where the fur is just flying and there's so much happening, or there's so much lined up, like a chipper that's supposed to be fast, like I don't know, a speed chipper or something crazy, where you have like triple unders and ring handstand push-ups, and like I just picture like a circus. Very well could just be an acronym, but I mean, I'd love to see some absolute craziness in the chaos event. If you had an event called Chaos, what would you like to see in that one? Of course, there are a couple more events that we haven't been privy to, and I'm gonna keep watching and continue to be excited to see what Dave has come up with. Oh, the paddleboard was supposed to come back too, huh? Was that not listed? So we did see on Instagram that the paddleboards are back from the 2015 games. There's nothing listed on the app yet of where the paddle boards are going to come into play. Are they going to do another one swim one? I did hear a thought that there may be a Reebok barge in the middle of a lake, similar to one that was at Wadapalooza. So tonight, if I can get this up before midnight, the CrossFit Pick'em closes. So if you haven't gotten in your order in the CrossFit Pick'em to potentially win $2 million, what are you doing? Well, let me tell you about what I did for my CrossFit Pick'em and why I chose the people that I chose. After regionals was over, I had a little bit of CrossFit withdrawals, and I ended up tabulating all of the scores of all of the qualifying games athletes from each region. When you went on the app, you could see comparisons of all the scores across all the regions, but that also included people who didn't qualify. There are some people who didn't qualify who did overall score higher than other qualifying athletes from other regions. In just taking the qualifying athletes, I compared the men and I compared the women. I had to do edits after we had the 2 athletes banned, and also a visa issue with Roman Krenikov, who rightfully earned his spot and just could not get the visa to go through, and therefore his lane will be open and was not filled. However, the 2 athletes that were banned for the positive drug test, their spot was filled with the 6th place athlete in their region. When I finally finished all the edits and I got a top 3 for each, here's what I found. My top 3 for the men were Matt Fraser, Patrick Vellner, and 3rd place, Cole Sager. Brent Fikowski was in 4th, but only by 10 points. And a similar situation happened between the men and the women, where between 4th place and 7th place, there was a very small margin of points separating those athletes. 10 points separating 4th, 6 points separating 5th from 4th, 6 points separating a tie of 6th and 7th with 5th. It's just a really close run for the men in that section. The same thing mirrors over with the women. My top 3 were Katrin Davidsdottir in 1st, Tia Claire Toomey 2nd, and Annie Thorisdottir in 3rd. However, there was a tie for 4th and 5th that's only 2 points behind 3rd. Cara Saunders came in 6th in my spreadsheet, but still only by 6 points, and then Emily Bridgers in 7th, which was 10 points behind 3rd. So there's a 10-point spread for the women between 3rd and 7th. My numbers, they do not have any meaning going into the games, because completely different events, more events, it's really just kind of gonna be like an up and down thing, and it really comes down to, you don't have to win them all, you just have to do well in all of them. It's going to be pretty much anybody's game within the top 10 athletes from the regional. You know, there maybe will be some standout person who is a pro cyclist, or their CrossFit total is freaking huge, but again, you don't have to win them all, you just have to do well across the board. I think that top 4 that I listed, Matt Fraser, Patrick Vellner, Cole Sager, and Brent Fikowski, they're gonna be the ones to watch for this week. I will be keeping an eye out for any really awesome moments that come along, and I'll talk with you guys about it. Definitely keep me posted, let me know what you think. Tomorrow I'm gonna be starting the Whole30 all over again. The Whole30 is essentially a reset diet. I've been feeling really crappy lately, and I've done the Whole30 twice already, and every time I've never felt happier, my body has never felt better. I've lost fat, I've gained muscle in conjunction with the gym, and I've had one too many chocolate milkshakes, and I think it's time. I will take you along for the ride. My goal is to daily vlog, just to keep you updated on how I feel. We're talking about the games, we're talking about making recipes Whole30 so that we can still enjoy them. I say we because I'm going to be eating them, and you're going to be watching my reaction as I go through this first week of sugar withdrawal and whatever, but I'm super excited. I got a new camera. If you couldn't tell, I hope that the quality of this video was better. I'm gonna go, I'm gonna edit this, I'm gonna try and get this up tonight, and I will see you later. Goodbye!